Well, hello, Internet, and welcome to my very, very first Maker Monday. And this is a live stream, so thank you for everybody who came to see me. And what I want to do here today is a couple things. I want to talk about some low price 3D printers, what I found about them, the one that I found to be the best. And then on top of that, I figured, well, if I'm going to, do a 3D printer tutorial and this is all about making things, I'm going to make stuff. So I'm going to make something. So I'm also going to build or paint, show you how I personally paint really cheap D&D terrain. I just figured it's just something to do. It's just some painting techniques. So I just want to jump right into it. So thank you very much. All right. So what I did was I tested the top three what are considered inexpensive 3D printers. The Monoprice MP Select Mini, the XYZ Printing DaVinci Mini, and the PrinterBot Play. And you can see all the information about them on the screen. And I'm just looking at your chat messages. Okay. So, what I found about the Monoprice MP Select, and move my microphone here a little bit closer. This is mainly the negatives. It had some issues adjusting the leveling, and I'm going to show it to you here on video. It's not just going to be a slide presentation. It's not going to be boring. We're going to get exciting quick. But once I adjusted it, I pretty much had no problem leveling it. And one time, I had a nozzle clog, which was pretty easy to fix. The DaVinci, on the other hand, and this is just based off of my personal experiences with all of these. I had some issues being that the filament on the 3D printer is actually DRM filament, which is something I didn't care for. I also had that filament break, which is also not good. I had some issues connecting it to my PC. And also on top of that, you're going to notice here, the Monoprice is the only one with a heated bed. That causes a lot of problems because the Monoprice is the only one I have never had an issue with the print moving while I am printing. So I have so far had none. With the Monoprice, I had 0 printing errors so far. And take a look at the price. It's $199. It's considerably cheaper than the other two. Actually, it is half the price of the PrinterBot. So, I had some nozzle jam issues with the DaVinci. And like I said before, the print moves on the bed unless it's glued. I even had issues with that. The PrinterBot Play had a whole bunch of issues. I had prints move, like I said before. There's no heated bed. That's the reason why. I had to adjust wiring around the extruder because it wasn't put together right. I had to update the software. I didn't update the software on the Monoprice or the DaVinci. Had to do it with the PrinterBot, which is a pain. Who wants to do that? Prints were slightly better, but I don't know. It was kind of hard to notice. I was almost wondering if I was imagining that in my brain that the prints were better. They were very, very similar. I had to figure out how to shut off the fans with the PrinterBot, and auto leveling didn't work for me. So there's a quick rundown. The Monoprice, which is the cheapest 3D printer that I tested, was by far the best. I didn't try I don't know how you pronounce that, Prusa. I've read a lot about it. They are considerably more expensive. I've heard they are fantastic 3D printers, but they cost like $800. The big difference between this is about cheap 3D printers. This isn't about the best 3D printers. I'm going to show you the results from this 3D printer. I think they'll impress you. So let me just pull in some more information here. So that is my comparison slide. The setup for it, let's go and get this over here. Sorry, I'm messing with a whole bunch of things. You use Cura with it to set up everything. And you can see right here, if you go Preferences and Printer, this is the exact what I showed, or what I set for the printer. I've had 0 problems. So you could just pause your screen if you have that and have any interest in the settings that I use if you're having any issues. And then also, I had, whoops, that's not right. There will be technical difficulties. All right. And here is the Cura settings that I actually used. And just making sure you can see that. Yes, it works on Mac OS. I've had Cura works on Mac OS. Obviously I use a Mac, and I also use the PC. Yeah, it actually doesn't matter. Well, Cura works. That's the software. Basically, all you do is you load the model into Cura. You set all this stuff you see here on the right side of the screen, and then you save the file to an SD card, and then you stick it in a printer. And I'll show you exactly. I'm gonna do a live shot of the printer here in a second, and I'll show you exactly how it works. It's like a dream. And here, I'll move out of the way so you can see the rest of the settings. Let's see. There you go. That's all the settings that I have. Very, very important to have your raft set properly, because that'll make it very easy to pull off the print. All right, so I think you had enough time to look at that. And I'll show you the raft. I have a raft right here. What I think the raft should look like. See, it's real nice and thick. See, here. Whoops, sorry. Hopefully that didn't hurt your ears. So let's see here. What else do we got? Yeah, feel free to ask me questions about 3D printing. I'm not a super expert at it, but I think that, you know, I know what I'm doing here. So this is the 3D printer. There, you can see it right there. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up, and also give you somewhat of an idea of what it sounds like. So to set it up, first you put this blue painter's tape down on it. And I've used the same, if you're careful with prying it off, you can use the same tape over and over again, because it has a heated bed. And when I first started, of course, I messed it up. So let's move it into, this is how easy it is to do everything. You save the file on an SD card, you plug it in the side of the printer, and then, well, that wasn't a spectacular idea. I think you kind of got the idea of how loud it is. It's like, zzz, that's not even that loud, because I'm right next to the microphone. I just, in regards to leveling it, what you do is there are little Allen keys, and you just level it. And then what I do is I get a piece of paper, and I try to get the nozzle as close as possible to the bed, and be able to slip a piece of paper underneath of it, so that there's a little bit of tension, just a slight amount of tension. And then you have to play around with the Allen keys up and down until you get it just right. But like I said, that's the biggest negative I've had with this printer, and I only had to level it once. My wife tried to level it, because my wife plays around with it a lot, and she had some issues, and I played with it for probably 10 minutes, and I got perfect prints. And like I said, I've printed a ton of things. I can't even imagine how many things. I've printed probably about 40 different things, and I haven't had to level it. So that's what you do. You level, or you move it into the home position, and then you exit out of that. I think you can see this. Yes. And then you go temperature like that, and then you go boink and boink like that, and it's set for 190. That's what works with my type of filament. And then you set the platform, the bed, the heat for that, and just press it twice, and there you go. It starts raising temperature. You hit exit. Did I hit exit? Exit. There we are. And then you come over to print, click on this, and let's say I want to print this wall, whatever. I just click on that, and it, at the very end of the video, what I'll do is I'll play it so that you guys, or I'll have it print something so that you guys can hear how loud it is. I'll show you a bunch of things I printed. Here. Well, this is the print of the, I don't know how well that sounds, how well that shows up. But there you can see. I'm going to show you another view of it. So this is the D&D Terrain. Here's a trumpet chew. Let's see if I can get it to sort of level better. Not really. But you can see that is extremely smooth. That is very, very, very smooth. Hopefully Donald Trump isn't insulted by that and do something bad to me. So basically, you might be able to see how detailed it is based off of this being painted. See, it's painted. Looks a lot, I mean, there's a lot of detail there. It's hard to do it through this, but let me see. And that's basically it. Do you have any other questions? I mean, that's how simple it is. You just plug it in, you stick the filament in it, and I had one printer jam What I actually did to fix, or nozzle jam, whatever, was I just took the filament and I turned it on. I removed the filament and then I pressed the filament until it started oozing out of the bottom of the printer bed, or out of the bottom of the nozzle, and that cleared it. That was it. That's how hard it was. Actually, I bought this. I'm working on other models with Blender right now that I'm going to do tutorials about. Actually, Maker Monday is going to cover some Blender tutorials. But this stuff I actually bought, and you can get, I put a link in the description underneath this video. I don't know if it's showing right now, that you can go and get it. I think it cost me like $9, but the company that makes it, it's called Dragon Lock. They have free terrain, and then they have terrain that you have to pay $9 for. So, any other questions? Yes, it's Pikachu Trump. Did I play with the settings? There's really nothing. I got those settings that I showed at the beginning of the video off the internet. I mean, and they work perfectly. So, can I resume print when stuck? Yes, you can pause the prints and you can resume. Yes. I've never shut the machine off and tried to print. That might not work. Obviously more complicated, more expensive printers are going to be faster than this guy. But like I said, for $199, and this is all about cheap, you know. I don't like spending a lot of money. I mean, it's basically what I'm giving up is time. And if I want to print something, I just turn it on in the middle of the night or whenever I'm working or whatever, and I come back to it and it's done. Anything else you guys are asking about? No, you can model things in a 3D application and it will print it. What material did I use? I used PLA. This guy, that's another thing, is the Monoprice can use ABS, PLA, XT, copolyester, PET, TPU, TPC, FPE, PVA, jelly foam, felty, and the other two models that are more expensive can only use PLA. So that's another rundown. And I guess that's about all the questions you guys have right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the camera around. What 3D software? I'm using Cura for this, and I am modeling with Blender. Have I made anything with it? Yes. I'm going to show you right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over, and I am going to... Is the Trump hollow? Yes, it's hollow in the middle. It's not a solid thing. I thought that was... You guys would think that was funny. That's the first thing I think my wife printed on it to test that it would work. And yes, I'm working on making 3D printing and 3D modeling tutorials. Those are going to be found on the Maker Monday videos. And some of them will be live and some of them won't be live. So, you know, for this one, I just thought it would be fun to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause, move my camera around, and then I'll show you how I paint the 3D terrain. So just hold on 1 second, and I'll set all that up, and then we can do a little paint tutorial. Because I thought, what the heck's a maker's, video unless I make something, So I'm going to make something. All right, so just give me 1 second, and I will do it. And there. All right, I'm back. Okay, that wasn't too long of a wait. Okay, so this is my desk that's all burnt up from soldering on it. And this is what, hopefully this turns out pretty good. I think you'll get the idea either way. This is a model that hasn't been, Nothing's been applied to it yet. What I did, and this works for anything. This isn't just D&D. It's just something that I was working on because my daughter's addicted to board games and everything. So this is what I prime it with. That works a little bit better. Just Krylon Gray primer, and that makes it very easy to paint on top of it. And then I'll show you all the different steps. I got, well, I guess I should, whoops, that's bad. I just spilled some water on my keyboard. Not a good thing to do. That's what's fun about live streams. I mean, it's like, why aren't more people doing live streams? I mean, it's fun. You know, you can spill things. There's water everywhere. There's things exploding. All right. So this is what I use. I mean, for this project, you don't need expensive paint and things like that. I just got regular old Crafters acrylic. So this, I think this costs 50 cents for this. And this is tan. Whoops, here, I'll show it to you so it looks a little bit better. There's tan. And I got Country Maple. And I got Cafe Mocha, and I got Golden Brown. All right, so I got all those colors. So let's put that aside. And yes, thank you for that compliment. This live stream is one of a kind. That is my goal. That's what I've been working on since the beginning of the year, is to try to figure out how to do really cool live streams. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get this paint as wet as possible. So I just sprayed it with a spray paint. That's what, and this is what it looks like at that point. And then I'm just going to come in here, very, very watery, even wipe it on a little bit. And then I'm going to come in and just paint over it a little bit. And I'm not going to paint the whole entire thing here. Just paint it in there. And then I'll show you how to dry brush and all that stuff. It's pretty simple stuff, but it's something that some people don't know. So if you don't know something that's simple, then it's something new to learn, isn't it? No. I know there's a lot of things I don't know. So I just mix and match. And then I want to mix it so that it looks a little bit random. Because random looks nice because the world is so random. Alright, so I got this in there. And let's do a little bit more. Maybe this guy, maybe this happy little guy down here. This little rock looked a little bit lonely. Looked like it needed a little color in its life. And so I'm going to go and put some in there. Okay. And then, I don't know. Let's put it out here. Let's go and be reckless. You know, and break some rules of painting. Maybe have it a little bit. Say I have this brick painted right here and this brick painted up here. And that's, you know, probably something you thought, I shouldn't do that, but I did it. So, and we'll paint this one right here. And I'm just blocking it in. It doesn't have to be awesome by any means. I'm just trying to color that. And then the next one. So here's a little bit lighter brown. Just get some water. I just have some water. Spray it in there a little bit or whatever. And yeah, let's have this one right here. And I want it to be really watery. And I'm not going to paint all these. I'll paint all these after you guys go away. And that's what I do for fun. This is what I do, if you're ever wondering. Okay, so there you go. So there it is. I went and painted those. They'll dry up. And through the magic of camera work, when it dries up, it's going to look basically like that. See? A lot flatter than what it looks here. There it's shiny. There it's flat. So now, to make it look really awesome, like this, that's, you know, that's like next tier. Like, people actually pay like $70 for a bunch of these. Oh, this costs about 40 cents to print. 35, 40 cents to print. Like I said, I have a link in the description if you guys want to look at that. And there's a free thing, Dragon Lock. It's what it's called. And there's a whole bunch of free models you can play around with. And if you sign up for their newsletter, I mean, I'm not sponsored by anybody. So, and like I said, like I always say, if I tell somebody that I'm not sponsored by something and I am sponsored by it, I can be sued. So just let me tell you that. Okay, so dry brush. I got, where's the paint at I got for this? There it is. This is Basics, and it is Basics Unbleached Titanium is what it's called. So there it is. So this is what I'm going to dry brush with. So I got this guy over here that's all dried up. And I'm going to get some paint on this, and then I'm going to wipe most of it off onto this paper towel. Yeah. All right, and then I'm going to test down here first. And what I'm going to do is just very lightly just go over it. See? Look at that. Look how it comes to life. It looks three-dimensional already. Just simple. Just very, very little. A couple little hairs. There you are. And you can see how simple this is to do. Of course, I let it dry a little bit. And I'm just going to let it glide over top of those rocks. And it just, all of a sudden, is coming to life and looking a lot better. And there's this. There's that. Beautiful. Trying to imitate somebody if you were wondering. Okay. And there you are. And there you are. Got that in there. Let's get a little bit more for the other side. And let's go like that. And paint it on there. And there you go. And in no time flat, you have yourself some really cool. And you can do this with anything. I mean, it's just not this stuff. And it looks pretty cool. Looks three-dimensional. You know, it looks like real-ish weather-beaten rock. He's by being not sponsored. Don't believe him. He's sponsored by being not sponsored. So, and that's it. So, any questions you guys have? Is there anything else I wanted to cover? I mean, I did a review of 3D printers. I showed you how one of them operated. I showed you how the settings are set up. Oh, one other thing to let you hear what it sounds like if I print it. So, oh, that means, are you guys going to require me to go and do a thing here? Let's see. Let's go like this. And let's do that. Let's get our paints out of the way. Gives me something to do tonight after you guys go to bed or go away. And this is the little water thing I had. I don't know why I showed you that. That was dumb. Okay. So what I'm going to do, what printer do I use? Huh? I use this one. I tried the other three, and this one is half the price and better. So, you know. I haven't tried. Maybe I'll do a video about that later. I've tried printing. I have not yet tried to print something that is extremely detailed, like a figurine level detailed. I'm actually planning on doing that this weekend, print a bunch of them. And I'm also working on some different things in Blender, my own 3D prints that are extremely detailed. And I haven't tried anything ridiculously detailed yet. I mean, this is, you know, what it is. Are the fumes toxic? No, this is acrylic. It doesn't, it's just, no. As far as I know, it isn't toxic. I've been painting with acrylic. I used to paint in an enclosed room, though. Well, that was with acrylic, too. I don't know. I used to paint with oil paints and everything. I've never airbrushed oils. That could probably be dangerous. Supposedly, Van Gogh went nuts because he ate paint, but so don't eat paint. I think specifically he went insane because he ate cadmium. So don't do that. All right, so what kind of 3D file format does the printer take? It is STL. Well, STL is what you load into Cura, and then you save it to the printer. So I wish I could show you maybe the next time I do a Maker Monday thing, I'll show you Cura and all the different things that I set up inside of that, and you know how that looks. And that looks good. Okay, so you guys want to see it to actually print? Okay, but I have to pause it. And let me see here. So I'm going to have to pause it, move my camera around, and then I will show you it print. And you'll have a pretty good idea of how loud it is as well. So let's go like this, and let's go like this. All right, I'm back again. All right, so can I print more than one material at once? No. Can I print multiple materials? Yes. All right, so I'm going to print something. Hopefully I clicked on the right thing. There you go. Now you're going to get to hear how loud it is. I mean, it's Kind of irritating if you listen to it forever. I actually stick it in another room. Oh, it's taking a little bit to heat up. And you'll get to see that. I got it for $1.99. You can always... I have a link in the video, or in the description for it, but I bought it off of Amazon only because I like the fact that I can return... See, that's why I got 3 3D printers. And when I didn't like the other 2, I returned it. But if you want to just get the cheapest price possible, just go directly to Monoprice and buy it off of them. And you can always get it for $1.99. And just taking its sweet old time here, getting ready. But that's okay. And any other questions you have? Yeah, the what's it called? The Prusa. Supposedly that's the best. See, it's an $800 printer. I have a hard time saying a couple years back saying you could get an awesome 3D printer for $800 was, amazing. But yeah, it's called the Prusa i3 MK2. Sorry, I'm looking at my computer. I believe that's what it's called. And here it is. Supposedly, I have not tested it, but supposedly, I guess what you would call a mid-tier printer that is going to meet most of your means. It's $800 though, isn't it? Now, you could buy it as a kit for $700, or it is actually $900 as of... And, yeah, I don't know. MakerBot I've seen MakerBot prints, and I've seen cheaper printers make the same exact thing, the same exact print. So I don't know. I'm extremely happy with this guy. That's why I decided to make a video about it. Why is it printing? I think it's starting to heat up. I guess it's not quite at it. Wants the target's 200, and there it is, 198, 200, and it'll start. There it goes. And now you'll be able to hear how loud it is. See? There you go. That's how loud it is. And I have a very, very sensitive microphone here, so... That's it. Yes, I make my living making, I seem to say this almost about 10 times a day, making shopping carts and mobile apps, okay? So, yes, that's true. And that's it. I guess that's, there you can see it's printing. So, pretty awesome stuff. I was glad that I could share this with you guys. I'm glad you guys seem to like it. And, I guess that's basically it. So I will always hang around after the live streams and answer other questions that come up in the chat system. And I guess that's it. So, like always, guys, please leave any questions and comments you have down below. Thank you for joining me. And till next time.